Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper, and today I have got some cards that I want to show you excuse me, made using some product from the mini catalogue, the September to December catalogue. It's using this suite here, which hopefully you can see. It's called the Jolly Delivery Suite. I haven't got all of it. I've got most, well, I've got the stamp set and the dies and the papers, and that's primarily what we're going to use in this card today. But I wanted to show you this. This is a stamp set which is really cute, and I think can be used for other things as well. So you've got, I know this cat here has got little antlers on, and then you've got the dog with a little envelope in his pocket. Hopefully that's not too blurry. And there's another, I'm guessing it's another dog there, and a polar bear. Now, obviously, the polar bear, the cat with her antlers, you could probably cut those antlers off and just make her a jumping cat. But this dog here especially, I think would be great for all year round cards. You've got this cute little post box here. You've got doggy prints and you've got letters. So even though this is in the mini catalogue and is intended for Christmas, I think it probably could go over into general year-round cards, because who doesn't love a little dog delivering a letter? So I think this could be used for birthdays, for anniversaries, all sorts of things really as well. The papers are more Christmas based. You've got several different designs here. You've got trucks delivering things, you've got envelopes, so that the envelope one could be used all year round, I think. The post boxes I think could be used all year round. Some of the others are very definitely more Christmas related, like this one's got pine trees and things on it, and these have obviously got Christmas hats and things. But you do actually get 2 sheets of pre-cut elements with it as well. I really like it when Stampin' Up does that. And the other thing I wanted to show you was part of the dies is this really cute little box. It makes quite a narrow box, but I think it, again, for Christmas, perfect for bits and pieces, little gifts, earrings, that kind of stuff. But again, could go over into general gift giving throughout the year. And I have seen a couple of other demonstrators adapt that, so it will take a gift card, which is something that I'll show you in another video. Anyway, this is the card that we're going to make today. Quite a simple card, but if you're making lots and lots of Christmas cards, quite quick and easy to put together. And I've used the little envelope stamp inside. Please excuse my little smudge there. I must have lent on this when the ink was still damp and I didn't realise. But again, you can see these little envelope stamps could be gifts all year round really. Okay, so I'll stop waffling and let's get started. So just put that card up there so we can see it for reference. There was something else I wanted to show you on this card, but I'll talk about that as we go along. So basically I've got a piece of cherry cobbler, and this is half of an A4 sheet if you're in the UK or anywhere else that uses a standard A4. If you're in the US or anywhere else that uses the letter size, that would be half cut down the length of the card, and then scored in half. And I'm using this as a side opener with a horizontal edge. So on the UK paper, this is half of an A4 sheet, which equates to the A4 sheet being cut at 10.5, and then it's scored at 14.8 centimetres. So that's all in centimetres. And then that's our card base. As I said, cherry cobbler. Then on top of that, we have got a piece of this lovely paper. Now, I can't remember if this is in the mini catalogue or whether it was an online exclusive. Let me just check. There is an index at the back of the catalogues, as always, and they divide the index into sections, so I can see in... Yeah, I think it must, sorry about that, I think it must be an online exclusive because it isn't showing in the paper accents. Might show in the paper. Speciality papers, we've got two-tone cardstock, speciality paper. No, it isn't showing, so it must have been an online exclusive. But it's called Snowfall, and as you can see, it's got these lovely snowflakes, and they're embossed into the paper. Excuse me. So this piece of paper is cut at 14.3 centimetres by 10, and that will give us a layer on the front of the card. Then I've got another piece of cardstock which is cut at 14.3 by 10, and that's going to go inside the card for us to write on. Okay, and then I've gone ahead and die cut some of the elements of the card. So I've stamped the polar bear with his parcels on his back, and I've die cut him. There's a die that does that. I've stamped a post box, and stamped that in cherry cobbler and die cut that. And then there is one die and one stamp for these 4 little letters here. Hopefully you can, sorry, I'm just going to move my camera up a bit. Hopefully you can see that. So these 4 little letters come on one stamp, and then you use one die and it will cut all 4 out for you. So that's what we're going to use on our card today. Now, I'm going to keep this video very brief because you don't need to see me colour and you don't need to see me waffle. So I'm just going to talk you through what I did for the card. So basically, I used a blending brush and some Pool Party ink and blended all over this piece of Snowfall. And then I left the polar bear white and I stamped him in basic beige just to give a very pale edge. And then I coloured the parcels on the top with Stampin' blends, and then did the same thing with the letters. And the post box, I just used a cherry cobbler Stampin' blend to just put some detail on there. This kind of card would also work well for paper piecing. So what you could do is stamp your post box on some patterned paper and then cut it out, which would then already give you a pattern. And the same with the parcels. You could die cut the polar bear again, or just use a scrap of coloured designer series paper to cut the parcels and then paper piece that all together. So as I said, I'm not going to put this all together for you. I just wanted to show you very quickly how to do it. Now, a couple of tips. When you are inking your piece of background cardstock or paper, whatever you're going to use, it's always a good idea to start on a piece of scrap paper and start off the edge. Now, the only reason I'm not going to do this for you is because I've hurt my back and I can't bend down to grab the blending brush that I used, which is in a pile of stuff from my last class, so apologies for that. But start off the edge, ink up your brush, start off the edge, and then come in and round with your brush, and then you can put as much ink or as little ink on as you wish. The only reason I haven't left it white is because then the polar bear won't stand out very well, but you know, that's an option if you wanted to. And then I've raised up the polar bear, the post box, and the 3 letters that I've used on some Stampin' Dimensionals just to give the card a little bit of depth. And then inside I've used that same stamp again that I did the little cards and envelopes with, and I've just stamped it a couple of times down the side. As I said, excuse my smudges, it happens to all of us, and then added a greeting from the stamp set. There are some really nice greetings in this stamp set. You've got hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet, special delivery from here to there, sending merry tidings, Merry Christmas and happy wishes from the North Pole, and from me to you, which I think is a really nice greeting. And again, the from here to there and from me to you are universal. They're not just for Christmas, so they can be used all year round. So that is that card there. I'll just show you the card for the final time. So hopefully you can see, you can put it together however you wish. I've popped the little letters behind the polar bear, but you could put the polar bear over this side and have the letters sort of flying out of the post box, whatever you want to do really. So nice, quick and simple card. If you're going to bulk make these, oh, I forgot to say, you can't really pick it up on the camera, but I did go over the polar bear with, you might almost be able to see, with the Wink of Stella, and that gives it an almost like fur texture. Just be careful if you're using a Wink of Stella where you've stamped with our water-based inks, because it sometimes does smudge the ink because it's alcohol-based. But you can see it just gives it a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of that sort of fur texture, I thought. So, hope you'll have a go at making this if you've got this set, and I'll see you all again soon. Happy stamping and thanks for watching. Bye.